everyone, this is Krys from Athens to Ashes, and this is my first lyric breakdown video. I just wanted to start off by kind of giving a little bit of a backstory to the band itself. They formed before I joined, but I joined back in November 2019, and there's been kind of a shuffle as far as our lineup has gone even since then. We now have two guitarists who were the original members, Josh and Jeremy, our drummer Steve, and our new bassist Bruce. Yeah, we wanted to hit 2020 running, and we even got the opportunity to play a couple of shows, which was a lot of fun. And then, I don't really have to get into it, but we've all been through some stuff this year. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, and when lockdown happened back in March, April, we decided that we wanted to take the time to, do what a lot of the bands are doing right now, kind of make plans for when things get back to like normal, and, continue writing. So we were able to remotely record, which has had such a steep learning curve trying to get everything in line with our programs and with our different tracks and whatnot. And we've been working with a really patient and awesome engineer who's been mixing and mastering all of our tracks that have been in line to release, which includes Forsaken featuring Avi Cohen, which dropped on streaming services as of December 11th. So if you haven't had a listen, check it out, and then come on back if you want to listen to the story behind the music itself, the lyrics rather. So there were already a few songs that were established with Athens before I had joined, and the music they held on to, we decided to revamp and make our own with our own new sound. That did include Set Us Free, which was our first single, and this one, Forsaken. It was originally called Within Reason. I'd had ideas in the past that were linked to video games, but at that time, Destiny 2 was one of the games that, and it still is, that has kept my attention and kept me going throughout the craziness that is this year. But I, met a lot of people, some friends, family, connected with them, and we were able to kind of take our mind off things, off of real life, off of reality and things that are happening right now. But I dug into a lot of the lore, the grimoire itself, videos that are compiled by a lot of awesome people in the community to kind of give a history and a background to Destiny itself. But I wanted to make this song fit within that universe because it means a lot to me. So starting out with the first verse is the line, "No honor among thieves, and the price you pay is the debt to bleed." Now those lines in particular really stuck with me. The Guardians being in their own way kind of, I guess, a ragtag group of warriors who fight together to save the world or even stop calamity, no matter what their own personal agendas might be. Now that means getting together to do some strikes, do some missions, quests together as a team. That was, I guess, the start of the idea. But in the Forsaken expansion, we battle someone who was supposed to be our ally. Prince Uldren, who was the Awoken Prince, suffers a sad fate due to his actions, but if you haven't played Beyond Light, now he's actually known as the Crow. And if you haven't played it, I do recommend you do, just to see where he's at now, how he came to be, and what him reappearing now might mean for the future. Like, will he face the consequences of what he did in Forsaken? At that point in time, I had been chasing after, which is now gone. Well, the loadout isn't gone, but the way it was set up, the Liar's Handshake build. The Liar's Handshake itself drew me in, not only because of the name, but you can kind of see where that ties into the no honor among thieves kind of thing. Especially in particular this text. the item itself, it does have some lore tied to it. And this line was an element that I wanted to weave into the theme of the song. So it is arc, which in the song already, before I had kind of rearranged the lyrics, the thunder and lightning theme in the chorus to kind of give that boom to the fight is really what got to me. But before we get there, the pre-chorus itself is kind of like a rally, pretty much to kind of pump you up to get you ready for the fight. Hits, it talks about the clash, the apex, and the rush of the battle. It's the rinse and repeat of fighting, dying, respawning, which is up to your ghost, your companion, your closest confidant, I guess, who's almost always by your side through playing this game. But this is essentially talking about the team getting together, what you've been preparing for to essentially group up and raid the enemy. Now, verse 2 is kind of a realization, and it slows down and almost gives this solemnity to the speaker, to the person who's primarily in the head of the song. There was kind of a double meaning here, and it was almost by accident as I was writing it. But in Forsaken, the enemy Riven's theme, or power, essentially, is to speak with you through 1,000 voices. Now, they might be familiar, they might be strange, but they'll essentially weave into your mind to make you do their bidding. It's kind of a call and answer thing. This actually came later in the production of the song itself, just because we wanted to add that the person reaching out to the beyond and then having a voice call back, whether it's good, whether it's bad, their intent, nobody really knows, but it's basically the voice of that impending doom. Now, if you've heard Avi's voice before, he's got that boom that made him, in my mind, a perfect fit for this role. It kind of fell in line, no spoiler, that there might be a spy, whether or not it's of their own volition, but they're being manipulated by Savathun. Now, she's the witch queen of deception and confusion, so who knows who it might be at this point, though the prophecy dungeon, if you play through that, explains in some dialogue between two of my favorite characters, Drifter and Eris Morn, that it might be Shax. Or I've even heard that it might be your own commander, who's this stubborn, headstrong, very militaristic Commander Zavala. But after the loss of the Vanguard in the Forsaken, yes, our beloved Cade 6, I got to the line that said, the point of no return. Reach the point of no return. It's me giving that admission that as much as it hurt to lose him, because he was such a very charismatic character, Cade 6's death really meant a lot to pushing the story forward. It doesn't mean I don't miss him. I think he was a great character. I think it was really a turning point in the story that some fans might be upset with me saying, although a lot of the community agree that it was it was really something that was necessary. Now, at the end of the path, whether literal or figurative here, it kind of opened the doors to the newest expansion, Beyond Light, which talks about the alluring darkness that's creeping inside. The darkness is a huge entity that still has a lot of questions that are yet to be answered, but in Beyond Light, it did allow the darkness to be a new way of life for the Guardians. They're these valiant heroes of the light, always saving the world from the darkness, but now the darkness is a part of them, which kind of went hand in hand with what had happened with Prince Uldren, falling into the lure of 1,000 voices, crept into his mind and corrupted him. Now, ending with the chorus is basically speaking to that guardian. No matter what way of life you choose, whether it's to use the darkness or to continue on the light path, you still got to hone your skills. You got to continue to practice, learn new tactics, join up with new allies, and wait for the next big bad to come. Now, I'm just going to say right now that I'm not affiliated with Bungie in any way, or Destiny the game in general, although that would be pretty awesome. But this game does mean a whole lot to me, which is why, and actually it means a lot to Josh as well, who's part of the band. I told him, I was like, hey, I like to write songs that have that underlying theme of like video games that I play, and he was like, we're writing about Forsaken, and so that's kind of why I shifted from the original title of Within Reason to Forsaken, just because it really clicked, it really fit the theme of the song altogether. I made lifelong friends, I feel, with my clanmates. I'm able to play this with my family as well, and it's really got a lot of cool story elements within it. So that's the breakdown of the song, and my first one. So if you enjoyed this, I might break down another song in the future. And speaking of, we do have more coming to you probably next month, maybe, I don't know. But follow us on social media. I'll make sure to put the links down below, and you just stay tuned. I hope you enjoy the song, and have a good one.